Welcome back to Kin in Line. I'll make this part 113. So we've got two horses here. I think these were drawn in the late 80s, early 90s, out beyond Van Stadens, or at the Van Stadens narrow gauge railway line, a bridge over the gorge. It's the highest narrow gauge railway bridge in the world. So I had this quite rough textured paper which I used quite clearly a softish pencil on, which gave me some nice bold lines. And these horses were around, so because we stopped at this bridge on a media sort of outing. And so I got some really nice varying sketches of horses, among other things. Coloured them in later, obviously. I quite like the abstracted view of a horse here. Again, just thrown together with lines drawn very rapidly on the page. This one resembles a chess piece. Again, it was a gamble to paint these drawings, but I think they've tended to work out quite well. You just got to go with your gut. So this person seemed to have been at the site where we stopped. I've no idea even the nationality of this person. Interesting hat. And these young chaps were floating around. Again, ideal sort of subjects for quick sketches. And you can never get that in a photograph. That's just, or in a big oil painting. It's a combination of quick fire drawing and a bit of watercolor, and that's what you get. So here I had done this drawing of a person with a horse, and then I just sort of went, look at the one edge of the paper. I clearly just tore off a few sheets of this stuff wherever I got it. I quite like this figure here. It looks almost like a straw person. So the painting is almost an abstract painting, really. So this is a view looking along the railway line, the bridge over the Van Stadens River. It was, I think, closed. Normally the train would go over there and head on a bit further into the Langkloof. But on this occasion it was a press outing, I think. So we just went as far as this bridge. This used to be one of the great photo opportunities to get the narrow gauge steam train, the Apple Express, seen from, crossing this historic bridge. I think the bridge is about 120 years old. And this was one of the young children of one of our staff members, a colleague of mine. So I did a quick sketch of her and it came out quite nicely. Colours are quite enjoyed too. Interesting chap here. And girls with horses again. So, the question is, how did I manage to do all that sketching while they just stood there for however long? Could have been a minute or two. Could have been 5 minutes, I can't remember. Yeah, my little mates again. They looked blind, but I can assure you they were checking us out. This I see was incomplete horse. You can see the shape of his body there. And there is actually another drawing on the back here. Got a bit smudged there. That should go to the bottom of the pile. Still on this probably was still from the same outing. It's the same type of paper that I've used. Sometimes you choose just the right paper. You know, this was almost like watercolor paper. Other times you can go completely haywire and all your equipment's wrong for the occasion. Large lady. And woman walking child. So it's an iconic image, really, been repeated down this millennia. And here we have it again. Also, I think on that outing, this woman just leaning against a sort of fence post or something. After that flourish, we go back to the relative staid concert venue set up here. This looks like a school band again, probably at Art in the Park. Him reading from the hymn sheet or the music sheet. What is this, euphonium maybe? Guitarist. Quite a lot of movement in this trumpet player. This one, are there 2 pages here? No. It definitely feels like 3. Yep, my instincts were correct. Oh, let's just deal with Kevin Tim again. This is quite a nice one. You can almost see him checking out the chord he's playing there. And then a trumpet player behind, and this chap playing a clarinet or something. These were just spectators. And This was that singer we saw earlier. I've got her on this type of coarse paper again. And then this Dutch singer that we saw earlier. This chap on the flute. And another euphonium. So these were not at the jazz concert, but at a band show in the Settlers Park, St. George's Park. I think this guy too, even though he looks like an old jazz man, might have been part of that. Since I used this paper, this one works quite well. I think the colouring possibly more effective than on those others. And here's the most subtle and probably the best. So he's also reading music, I think. So this places that at St. George's Park's, maybe it was a teacher or something. Yeah. As we contemplate another pile of drawings here, I think we're going to leave it at that for now. Cheers.